Alright, continuing on with my snake rack for my ball pythons. I'm going to want to mount a power strip. And this is where I decided that I wanted it. So what first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put it where it needs to be. And then I'm going to trace a nice little outline, so I have an idea where it's at, and I can take measurements so I can put the screws in. So I've already measured down, took my tape measure, and I can't find my good tape measure. It's probably out in the truck. It's too cold for me to go out there. So I took my tape measure and I measured down to where that hole is, right in the center of that hole. And I also measured how far over it is. And I made me a mark for my first screw right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and set my first screw, and then I'll be taking all my measurements off of that. You're going to want to do this real slow. And straight. Alright. So from there, that screw will fit right on there like this. And now I'm going to measure and mark for my second screw. And how I'm going to do that is I'm going to measure how far over this screw is from here and how far down this screw is from here that makes my second hole. Alright, so I measured down 5 1/4 inches and make a mark. And I measure over my 2 inches from the edge, which is right there. And I make a mark, and that should be where my screw goes. So let's go ahead and put one of those screws in and see if it worked out. Alright. Now it should slide right into place. Pretty straight. I'm happy with that. Alright, so when I start to get ready to do my Flexwatt, the first thing I do is I take an old piece of plywood or a scrap piece of plywood and I measure 12 inches down from the end. That way I can line it up flat with it and have a mark exactly where I need to cut that I can see through the center of the Flexwatt. You don't want to cut in the black lines of the Flexwatt. That's actually an ink filament that they use, and they use it to heat up. You want to cut in between on the clear piece so that you don't have any connection problems or any loss of power issues. So let me set this up and I will show you what I'm talking about. Alright, so now we're going to start doing some wiring. I've got my 1 foot section, which is the length I needed for my top rack. On the end that I will not be soldering to, I cover with a piece of electrical tape. Very important, you don't want any exposed metal or edges that could cause a spark and fire and ruin your day, possibly your life. Depends on what you own and what you have. The other side, I don't tape. Get to that in a second. I prepped some wires. I got the length of cord that I will need to reach the outlet, the power strip, which I'll be plugging the power strip into my thermostat. So I measured off the length so I can tuck the wires away nice and neat. I stripped the ends of those wires that are hooked to my power cord. Then I made a jumper that will go to the second rack. Now I won't be hooking that up right away because I won't be getting the the rest of my pythons for another few weeks, 2 to 3 weeks. So what I did was I have them ready and I will solder them together, but I've closed off the ends really good and taped them off so that it won't have any spark or live wire, but it will be ready to go for the next rack down. So as of right now, I only need the top one done. So these are just ready to go so that when I'm ready to put the second one up, it'll be ready to rock. And at that point, I will be jumping down to 2 more shells after that, so it'll be a total of 4 shells. So I will do another jumper, just like this jumper, about the same length, and I'll be adding them into this one, just like I got these 4 spit to here, which I will twist together, and I will heat up and load solder on top of them so that they are all nice and tight. And if you give me a few minutes, I will prep, and actually a few seconds in your time, I will prep these and get them ready to solder onto the Flexwatt. So again, got my cord, the length I need to plug into my power strip, which my power strip would be plugged into my thermostat. My thermostat will be plugged into the outlet of the wall. I've got my jumper ready to go for my next rack down, and I've got my wires stripped and ready to go to be joined together, pre-soldered up, and then I will solder them on to the Flexwatt itself. Load up a little bit of the solder. On here. That way it gives the solder on the wires a little something to grab onto. A little bit more over here. A little bit more over here. Now that I got that good to go, I'm going to make sure I got my negative end on the right side that I want it on. I'm going to place it on there and try and get underneath here a little bit. Let that cool for a couple seconds. Now that it's on there, I can add a little bit more solder. Alright. Now I'm going to tack down the other side. So again, sorry, I realize my hands are in the way there. I'm going to heat up this mound. Get that wire on there nice and good. Get it tacked on there. I'm going to move the camera here hopefully give you a little bit better view without my hand all in the way. Again, I'm going to add a bit more solder on there. Plenty enough so it has a good connection. Alright, so I got them soldered, I got them taped up real good, and next we are going to go ahead and mount it in place. For that, really simple, you're just going to have to mark off the area that you want to mount it to, and go out and get yourself some of this foil tape right here, so that heat won't bother it and it will stay stuck to your surface, and you will tape it down in the spot you want it. So that's pretty much how you set up some Flexwatt. Not too hard. This is my first time doing it. I have done some other electrical work and soldering, so if I can do it, you can do it. Take your time. Learn a new skill. So there you go. That's how you set up a Flexwatt. And I'm going to go ahead and mount it. And I probably won't say much after that. If you like my videos, please like, share, and subscribe. I do have another channel called Going Youper, where I just do a lot of different blog things with the family, different exciting things like camping, fishing, hiking, dirt bike riding, all sorts of good and fun stuff. So join me there. I'll put a link below. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.